Hey everybody, so we knocked out another week. This week has been very stressful. Um, it's been very busy, hectic. My schedule's been crazy. I've been booked and busy this whole week, but there's something I want to get off my chest because today kind of hit me a little hard and I don't know how to react. I don't even know how to completely feel about what I just experienced today. Not only that I was stressed out this morning, well, actually this afternoon, because this happened around 12, but I kind of like, I kind of felt bad because I got rejected by somebody who judged me. And there's something I want to talk about because one, I never put nobody in this position before. Two, never judge nobody for what they do. And three, I only judge on character and how you make me feel versus what you do for a living or where you live at. So here's the thing. There was somebody that I was in communication with for like 6 months. And we went from working together to not working together because he decided he wanted to move to another, you know, location, but under the same company. And I didn't think I was going to lose him as far as him working for me. And I was his client. Like, yeah, I was his client. And everything was going so well. Like, we was working together just fine. Anything I needed, he came through. So all of a sudden, after a couple of months, he decided he wanted to relocate to a different location, but still under the same business. And it wasn't until maybe the beginning of January where I caught feelings for him. Now, a lot of y'all's gonna say the same thing I'm saying right now. That's why I'm about to beat y'all to the punch. Yes, I shouldn't be catching feelings for somebody I'm working with. As his client, I should not be catching feelings. But I did. Because spending a lot of time with a person, talking to them, whether it's in person or on the phone, you kind of get to know each other in a lot of ways. And I'm talking about in the most personal way ever. And I don't think I ever did this for anybody before. Um, so come to find out, he was kind of stressed out on a job. According to him, he wasn't doing that great on the job. He was being stressed out. And I don't know what his supervisors and anybody else was doing over there, but all I know is that everything completely changed since my last social worker started working there. And everybody was scrambling, trying to find how to, you know, do things with clients. Like, because now, I guess this is law now that you're not supposed to have too many clients on your hands per social worker. And this guy that was working with me is 29 years old. And he was so down to earth, so sweet. He was so cool. He had that chill vibe. Everybody loved him. Everybody loved his personality. They thought he was the best worker ever. And even I thought he was the best worker ever. I had nothing but great things to say about him. So fast forward to the end of January where we finally got in touch with each other. Kind of find out he's working in the same building where I do my job training program at. And we both was like, wow, like this is even better. We could actually see each other face to face now more. And whatever I need help with, he'll help me. But in between him helping me and working with me on everything from scheduling to whatever, we have fun conversations. Like we have conversations about everything. What goes on in my life, what goes on in his life, what's going on as far as working goes, what's going on as far as school goes. You know, typical social friendly conversations. And I say this to too many people's, so I'm saying this to myself, like it's okay to be upset. And I'm saying we're human. Can nobody say we are not allowed to be upset about anything? But I had to show some grace to myself, because what happened in the next few weeks just blew my lid off. So I finally got a chance to speak to him face to face after I caught a 3-week winter vacation break from school. So I found so many other things to do. Then come to find out, I was, looking for jobs to go to. I was trying to catch interviews here and there. So I was giving him the update on what's going on. So long story short, he gave me, he listened to me so closely. And, for some reason, I had a strong, clear, like, I don't know, friendship vibe from him. But most of all, he gave me some great advice. And when he talks to me, you could feel the love coming from him. You could feel the sincerity and the support coming from him. And all I wanted was support from somebody to let me know that I'm trying my best and everything is fine, everything's going to be okay. The whole shebang. And yeah, I tried out different hairstyles today. So I was talking to him about the upcoming interviews that I was scoring, and how everybody was contacting me left and right trying to get an interview with me, wanting me to apply to their job. And I was very happy with that, because never have I ever experienced this much traffic as far as people contacting me, either through my job developer or through my emails personally to me. So I was giving him updates on that. I was like, yeah, I got something lined up, interviews lined up. And I was kind of impressed with it, because like I say, it took about 3 or 4 weeks. And this was the quickest I ever had, over 10 emails. I'm talking about emails lined up the wazoo. So it was like, the more I was talking to him, the more I started to develop feelings for this man. And something told me to hold back for a minute. Just give it another couple of days. Don't say nothing. And I finally had the courage to say something today. And I told him how I felt about him. I told him how I felt about our, work relationship, how we communicate very well. And I like his personality. And then we started talking about football today. We was talking about jobs today. We was talking about everything today. And most of all, we was talking about me cooking and stuff like that. And I couldn't just sit there and just hold back anymore. Something just kept urging me to finally say something. Like I said, when it comes to people's, I don't really like to tell anybody anything about how I feel unless I'm being urged to say something. Because sometimes I don't get to see the same people's more than once throughout the month. Like him, I see him maybe once or twice previously, but then life got in the way, so is my schedule, so we don't get to see each other. So I was like, you know what, let me just say something, just out of just curiosity. I asked him out, and I invited him over to my house, and I was talking to him about the football situation. So he asked me if I saw the Super Bowl. I was like, yeah, but I wasn't too, happy with the ending of the football game because my team lost. But I'm trying to forget about that. That's neither here or there. So my thing was if he wanted to hang out. And he was like, yeah. He thought it was cool. But then something was telling me, like, I don't think he wants to hang out the way I want to hang out. So I started to see signs that he wasn't as into me as I was to him. So I was like, you know what? I need to lay back. I don't know. I could be wrong. Like I said, sometimes my judgment could be off because a lot of people have this straight stoic look on their face. You can't read them, so you don't know what they're thinking. And some people, don't have the stoic look on their face. Some people look like they want to be asked out. They want to be talked to. So long story short, I was urging for the truth to come out. And it took about 3, maybe 4 hours to get the truth out of him, because I texted him earlier asking him to tell me the truth about how he felt about me. And if I was barking up the wrong tree, I told him, if you don't feel the same way about me, you're not interested, let me know. But then I started thinking about all the times we had conversations about my struggles. We had conversations about my job search. We had conversations about my struggles with the electricity. All these things. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong about him and misjudge him, thinking the reason why he rejected me is because I was going through a lot of struggles in life. Or it's the fact that maybe he's not into women because he is showing signs of him not being straight. But at the same time, it's like you may never know. Like I say, sometimes my gaydar, it be on point. Some of them, it could be off point. Because I have met plenty of peoples in the past that I thought was gay, and they were straight. They just love to dress the way they dress. Some people have very funky taste. Some people have a very flamboyant behavior and attitude because I guess they just want to be very friendly. They want to be easygoing. They want to appear to be the sweetest and friendliest person rather than being a non-tolerance bull crap behavior type person. You got people with the most stoic look and you can't tell if they want to be approached or not. You can't tell if they're friendly and if they want friends, if they want to be left alone. So it's those type of predicaments that I get tied into because I don't know. But like I say, it never hurts to ask. It never hurts to talk about it. So we finally talked about it. And I'm sitting here like, okay, let's ask some questions. I asked him a bunch of questions. He say he has no kids. He's single. He lives alone, got a job, drives, and he's straight. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, whatever. So after that, I realized he judged me, right? And I think, like I said, because of the conversations we had in the past, I'm talking about from September to now, all them conversations add up. And I was sitting here thinking, well, maybe he rejected me because I am going through too much struggles. I am going through a little situation right now because I'm in school right now. He knows I'm in school for, for medical, and things is going okay so far. Like I could say right now is the smooth, okay part. Is not, we out of the rough waters, put it like that. So my question to him that I didn't even get a chance to ask because I don't even want to ask. I don't want to know the answers. I'm one of those people that sometimes find out the answers is not good for you because it might make you feel more depressed and make you feel down than ever. But I wanted to know why, he wasn't interested in me. But then all of a sudden, not only that I felt disappointed, but at the same time, in a weird way, I kind of felt relieved. And then I was like, because your rejection is my protection, because God knows what you might have been going through, what is going on with you. Maybe your head and your heart is not in the same place. But I wasn't like I say, disappointment was there. Yeah, I am disappointed because I really did like this guy. I caught feelings for this guy. But then at the same time, it's like, you probably saved me for a bunch of headaches and heartbreaks because everybody always look pretty and nice on the outside, and it's like everything is all glitters but everything is not gold. And I was like, well, maybe the rejection is because he's going through something and he don't want me to be a part of it or whatever the case is. And no, I'm not being delulu. Like I say, I'm going through several reasons as to why, because he was not offended by everything I was asking him. He was like, well, it's always good to ask. Because a lot of guys don't like it when you assume a lot of shit about them. And like I said, I came in contact with a guy in the past that was highly offended because he thought that I thought that being with him means being with a crazy baby mother, dealing with a bunch of kids, and he lives underneath his parents' roof, and all this bullshit I would say a typical man would go through, and kind of find out it wasn't nothing like that. And then all of a sudden he threw me for a loop because he said he wasn't looking for nothing serious because he wasn't emotionally stable, or he wasn't he say emotionally ready or something like that. I forgot. I guess it's emotionally stable or ready or something like that. He say he can't give a woman anything as far as love and feelings go because that means he will have to break out of his mode, his what he's used to give that woman something. Meaning he can't give you what a woman typically needs from a relationship. Emotionally, I'm ready or something like that. So I was like, okay, I kind of understood that. So after that, me and him became friends. And funny how me and that guy was friends for like almost 21 years. And I was still asking him what's going on with him in his dating life. So he was like, he's not ready to date. He was like, he's kind of scared of dating because like I said, the last girl he dated was back in 2008, 2009, and it didn't go very well. And then she went and had a kid on him. He moved to Jersey. He became an MTA worker, so he was like, da, 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 whatever. Okay, the whole story wasn't my issue, but what I really wanted to know was what was going on with this one. This guy that I was talking to today. And I finally got the truth. So I was like, okay. And I was like, it is what it is. His loss, not mine. And I don't feel so bad about it. Because at the end of the day, a person's rejection is God's protection. Because like I say, you don't know what the person's going through. You don't know what's in his head. You don't know if he's going through a crisis right now. He's not ready to date, whatever the case is. So I kind of took it with a grain of salt and was like, okay, whatever. Now, a lot of people will always misconstrue my feelings versus my actions because I stay quiet, I stay to myself, and I don't bother nobody. I don't bother validating anybody's feelings. I don't want nobody to validate my feelings, but I just wanted to know some things. I love asking questions instead of assuming. So, one thing I have to say, and I wanted to say to him is, be careful who you judge, especially based on what they do for a living or what's going on in their lives. Your temporary situation right now is not your permanent situation. A lot of people need to get that through their heads because a lot of people keep getting that mixed up because somebody is going through a crisis right now or they're going through a situation, whatever. A lot of people is going through a lot of bill situation, utilities, housing, legal situations, personal situations with their love life. Some people are not ready to just give in and throw in the towel just yet. But who are you to judge somebody based on what they're going through? And who are you to judge somebody because they're not on the same level as you? I've been through a lot of friendships and situationships enough to understand that you can't judge somebody and or say that you're not interested in dating that person because that person is not on the same level as you. And it's crazy because he's not the only person that judged me. An old friend of mine of 21 years judged me as well because he works for MTA, but I don't. I go to school, so he thinks we're now on the same level. And I'm saying like, okay, let me break it down to somebody for a little minute, for like 5 seconds. First of all, I'm in medical school. I'm going to be a nurse, okay? I'm getting my associate's and bachelor's degrees in the same school. I'm getting my master's in criminology at John Jay. I've been sitting here searching up classes all month long to see what my end goal is going to be. What makes you think in about a year or two that I am not going to be successful or be on your level whatsoever? And it was just so funny to me how he was so high and mighty based off his career because he works for MTA. As if working for MTA was better than being a nurse or being a doctor. So I was like, okay, whatever. You could sit here and feel how you want to feel, celebrate your wins, but sweetie, I'm going to celebrate my wins. You want to sit here and judge me for now because I'm not so-called on your fucking level, but once I'm done with school, I'm going to be past your fucking level. Let's not go there with the fucking judging. Let's not go there with the fact that you sitting here thinking you better than a woman because you work as a train conductor. How is that better than being a nurse or a doctor? And then the money that you're making, yeah, y'all make a good amount of money, but so do we. Let's not get that shit twisted. And then on top of that, you don't know where I'm working at. You don't know the salary. So you cannot sit here and say that you're better than that woman. You cannot sit here and say she's not good enough to be your girlfriend or to date you just yet because she's not doing the same thing as you. She's not on your fucking level. What level is that? Because all I see is a level of ignorance. Part 2 for this shit.